Weapons are one of the most frequent changing things in the game, as nobody knows if a weapon's going to be nerfed or buffed at any time. But I'm here to tell you exactly what items are still worth it after the patches that have recently happened and the patches that are soon to happen. But before we get into the video, I would appreciate it if you guys would like and subscribe. Maybe we could hit 8.4k subs today, and let's get into the video. So the first item we're going to be talking about is the giant sword. The giant sword was good when you used to sword swap to another weapon that increased your damage, but now it just does nothing or even lowers your damage. So is the giant sword still worth it after the nerf, and is it still worth to buy? Well, as of right now, the giant sword dropped in price from about 170 mil before the sword swapping nerf to around 123 mil. But the weapon is still pretty good, as this is one of the best weapons for LCM still. And a new swapping method came involving the voodoo doll. So as you could see, if I just use the voodoo doll and swap over to the giant sword on a mob, I do about 900k compared to what I normally do with just a voodoo doll, which is 7k. And this works well with archery pots and for archers, and it even works for left click mage because of the ability cooldown. And giant sword is still one of the best weapons in the game, as you still do a lot of damage even without sword swapping. Like I do 700k outside of dungeons, which is very good compared to any weapon like the Valkyrie outside. I do 394k. And there are other methods like the Reaper Scythe and the Shadow Fury with One For All that you could also use to do this, so those weapons are still worth to get even after the sword swapping patch. Now let's move on to the Flower of Truth. The Flower of Truth is getting a big nerf in the next update, as the next update includes a strength nerf, and that is what the Flower of Truth mainly has. The Flower of Truth isn't as good as a weapon, as it already has been nerfed before, but with this, it's going to make the item practically useless. This weapon already isn't that good as is because I only do 184k, but that damage is soon to drop because of the nerf that's coming in. So is the weapon still useful, and should you buy it? It probably isn't the best item you should get as a berserker or just in general, because like I said, the damage is going to drop a lot with the strength nerf coming in. So I mean, it's not really worth to get right now. So I'm just gonna avoid it real quick since it's basically gonna be useless for me. Psych, that's still 4 million coins. No! Okay. So now we're gonna get into boner rings or bomer rings. I do not know what it's called, but don't be sus in the comments, please. Now this weapon is around 15 million coins, and the reason it dropped so much, because it used to be around 20 million coins, is that this weapon is bugged right now. So exactly how is it bugged? Well, if I throw the bone, I do 400k. If I throw it and swap to my fist, I do 95k. Now you guys might be thinking it's just because of my fist, but even if I swap to like my Valkyrie or something, I still do 95k. So this basically means if I swap to another bone, it won't work. So one bone only works now. So it's better to have one bone than 5 bones right now. And this is because if I throw and swap to another bone, on my back hit, it still does 95k. As you can see, let me try getting a back hit. There, 95k even on the back hit. So is it still worth getting bones? Well, yes, it is still worth to get bones because, like I said, one bone is meta right now, and number 2, this is probably a bug, which is meaning that it's probably going to be fixed, making bones still good again, but you just can't sword swap. And what I mean by sword swap is sword swap to a different weapon like the giant sword, not another bone. And that's going to be the end of the video. I wish you guys would like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.